Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Over-50, starting over everyone. This is where you get your inspiration, information, and awareness for people championing. I have a hard time with that word.
Yeah,
I
that
should
is a tough
change
word.
it. The third
Yeah.
act.
Championing.
It's a tough one.
It's over 50 starting over, and I'm Merle Garrison.
I'm Barry Edwards. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
All right, so a lot going on today. In the
Yeah.
first segment, I want to revisit dating apps. Why? Because I was going on AARP looking for ideas, and there it was. And I
Ah,
thought, you know what, man?
dating apps. Okay.
Yeah, for in particular for people over 50. Now, in
Okay.
addition to that, I ran all the information. They have 15, I think, apps or something. And it's like,
Really?
who wants to read all that? Who wants to sift through all? I put all this information through chat. I
Uh-huh.
said, what's the best for people over 50? Give me what to do, what not to do. I mean,
Okay.
so we're
All
going to
right.
get to the point and give you real information that you don't have to get too confused on. Because, I mean, dude, if I was having to choose between 15 apps, it would be very overwhelming and frustrating.
This is something I have a hard time relating to because, of course,
It's been so long.
I didn't use any dating services or apps or anything like that coming along, and so I have no idea. I just did it the old-fashioned way,
Go to a bar.
well, or you see somebody and you just bite the bullet, you go over there and you say hi, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's the old-fashioned way. Yeah, you could go to a bar, but basically, it's the chances of having a good lasting relationship out of
Oh,
a
for
bar
sure.
is
Yes.
almost zero.
Yeah, yeah.
So, can it happen? Sure, it's happened before in the past, but usually that's not your best bet. Uh,
Well, oh, I'm sorry. I
I
thought
was
you.
going to say, people say, "Oh, well, go to good place to meet is at church." And I remember being single and going to church and looking around, and other people were looking around too. But doesn't seem right. So
No,
I don't
you know
know.
what that's like? Like
What?
for me, going to the gym. I've gone to the gym regularly every week my entire adult life since I was a
Yeah,
teenager.
yeah.
And you would think I would meet like-minded girls that I don't know, dude. I feel just like the girls do there. I'm not there to socialize. I'm there to do. I've never met someone I was remotely interested in for dating at a gym, which is kind of
Yeah.
shocking to me.
I don't know. The gym, I mean, I go to the gym regularly now, and I never even look at anybody. I just
Say, yeah,
just
I
in my
know.
own world, right?
I got my earbuds in, and I
Right.
am
It's
like I
very antisocial
smile
there.
at people as I walk
Yeah. If
by.
I accidentally make eye contact.
Yes, on the same way, on the same way.
Right, right.
Hey, let me just introduce what we potentially have in segment two,
All right.
because
Go
it's a
ahead.
lot, and I'm going to need you to
It's
pick and
way too
choose
much.
because
Right.
most of it was coming from you. All right,
Uh-huh.
so in segment two, I do want to take another look back at the Great Depression because last week we were talking about it. You did this amazing rundown because I'm like, hey, what does our future look like here? No one's talking about. And you said,
Right, right.
well, there's that.
We've
And
got
I
some
think,
examples. Right.
yeah, and I think I got you off course after you were going, anyways. So I think.
It's all right.
Then we got to talk about Mandani's election results, what the
Yeah, I got some
predictions
good
are
stuff
for
there.
that. I'm
Yeah.
hearing everything from everybody on that. It's
Yeah.
almost comical. Okay, you mentioned you want to talk about the government shutdown. What's that mean
Oh,
for
yeah.
air travel? It's
Some
a
crazy stuff.
mess right now.
Right.
The Arctic frost scandal. Now I forget what that was. What is it briefly?
It's the Biden administration actually subpoenaed, they targeted several of the Trump administrative people, and also they targeted the
The
electors.
lawfare, right?
Yeah, they targeted the electors, running up to January 6th. And one of them was
Right.
my Aunt Marion,
Yeah.
actually, who was facing life in prison. And she is now, they've dropped those charges, but now there's a lawsuit going the other way. But they can see now with Arctic frost that this was a coordinated effort between the FBI, federal government, and also state governments to really create a situation that there's already a precedent for. Um that just it's lawfare. Let's put it that way. It's
Right.
lawfare and it's dirty. It's a terrible thing, and that's what
Still
that's
haven't
all
seen the
about.
convictions yet. You also wanted to talk about SNAP benefits, which that's
Well, that
juicy.
kind of goes along with the territory on the shutdown, and so those go
Sure.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And I have one I doubt we'll get to, and it can wait till next time. But I want to talk about because I just think about it every day as I'm listening to this podcast. What is MAGA today? Is it divided? What's the plan to make America great again? Are some people just going along with, well, I changed all my stances on everything because Trump did, and are other? It seems other people are like, hey man, we had this plan to make America great again. Where'd it go? And so at some point we need to talk about that. But you know
Well,
that kind.
it's a crazy thing,
I
Barry.
think it's still morphine. I don't
It is
think we
still
can pin
morphing.
it down.
You can't wrap your arms around it. There's definitely a dividing wall in the conservative movement right now. I think a lot of it has to do with Israel and where we
Sure.
are with
Hmm.
Israel and what kind of support we have for Israel. And seems to be two branches that are forming within the conservative group, with those who support Israel at any cost and those who are questioning, hey, something about this doesn't smell right. And those two, it seems that the side that goes for Israel at any cost are vehemently opposed to anybody that questions it, even using the anti-Semitic card.
Yeah, that's they started that right away. And you know what, dude, that's when I seen them start doing that, that's what my mantra is now. If I'm not being called a bigot of some sort, I feel I'm on the wrong side of things.
You're not actually telling the truth, right?
Exactly,
Exactly.
dude. If you're calling people a bigot, you got no other argument.
It
So you
seems
went
like
to the bottom.
I agree. I was talking I was talking about this yesterday and saying, it seems to me like if you go to that card, well, you're a bigot or you're an anti-Semite. that you- It's probably you that has something to hide on this whole thing,
Exactly my point.
right?
It's exactly it.
If you're all about the truth inside of your heart, you don't have to be defensive like that. You don't have to name call. You don't have to go after somebody's character. It's okay. What happened to the art of reason? That's really
Oh,
it's
it's
really,
out. I mean,
and also this our thinking, our ability to think through things, and we talk about this all the
critical
time, the
thinking.
critical thinking.
Hmm.
Exactly. Everybody's just a parrot out there. You heard something, and then you just
You
go
know,
and you're on an emotional
that
tangent with it.
everything went out with when they've been stoking the embers of divisiveness, and that
Mm.
started in the Obama era. And it's been like, dude, I say this all the time. I go on Daily Mail all the time because it's a conservative leaning mass throw up of news, whatever they could get out fast enough. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
but they have comments. And that's such a rare thing. So I scan the comments, I bait the comments, and I monitor them and I see what the trends
Mhm.
are. I can tell you right now, mail, whatever the influence is, I don't know what the influence is. I think it's probably big tech related, but they are obviously stoking flames of division. They find any way to make any little thing divisive. I saw a story the other day. Some girl murdered her mom, but she
Huh.
worked at a Fox News affiliate station for 3 years, 10 years ago. So they went with that
Okay.
angle. Fox
Uh,
News host murders mom.
oh my
And it,
gosh.
and they do that with everything. And then I see I'm sure they're bots. I'm sure they're bot farms in Russia and in China where people are given a ruble for making divisive comments. I am sure of that. I see it. I bait people. But even more so, what they do censor. And if you start turning some light on some things, they'll censor your comment in a minute. It's just amazing. So these things are going on in our society. My point to that is there's intentional and very intentional divisiveness so that we cannot think critically. We cannot talk about what the big questions are because we're too busy fighting each other over the little things. And
And
that's exactly
and
what's
this has
going on.
been a tactic that's been used for centuries now, but we've seen it, especially over the last 100 years. When you look at what happened in China, you look at what happened in Russia, you look at what happened in Cuba and Venezuela. How they keep the people occupied with these petty type arguments as the overseers of that government are behind the scenes just sweeping up everything that they can to have authority over.
Hmm.
I mean, when we get to this Mandani thing, it's very interesting how he's talking one of his first speeches about how this government is going to care about the big things all the way down to the little minute things that are a part of your life. Nothing's too small for the government to take care of. Yikes.
Yeah, I know. I
They're
know.
in for
You
it
know
over
what?
there.
We're going to get into that. I
Yeah.
want to plant a
Let's go
seed
to the
for you.
dating apps though,
Yeah, we
man.
will.
I
I
want
want to
to talk
plant a
about that.
seed when we get to the Mandani thing. Oh, God, I forgot. There's an overarching question I know what it is.
How are they going to pay for this?
Well,
That's
there's
my
obviously
question.
that, but no, the overarching question is what's the alternative? Who's got a better solution? And that is not to be a pro socialist, pro communist thing. That's terrifying. But my
Right.
point is, no one else is giving you just fear. Oh, you can't do that. You know what happens with communist governments. We see it all the time. It's all throughout history, blah, blah, blah. Well, you're just killing us in the same way. So is that better? Who's got the solution? Anyways, we will pick up on that in minutes because we're going to go through this very important information. And it is because people over 50 are often like, man, God, these apps, these phones, it's overwhelming. It's a drag. And it
It
is all
is.
that.
Uh-huh.
So
Well,
let's,
I can't imagine being this age and thinking, okay, let me wade into this. It's got to be a little overwhelming.
oh, for sure. So here's 16 dating apps for singles over 50. Your guide to
Okay.
the most popular digital spots. It's a little too much for me, if you ask me, but we're going to get through this and whittle it down and tell you why we whittle it down the way we do. So, dating sites for 50 plus, no, one of 16. These are not in order.
Not in any kind of order. Okay.
It's called Our Time. I'm not
Hmm.
going to read all this, but
Yeah.
we'll just get to the nitty gritty on it. And frankly, we've got so much to talk about in the second segment. I want to just keep this tight. Uh, so Silver Singles is number 2. That sounds good. Silver Singles,
Uh-huh.
like the
I
sound of
don't know
that.
if I don't like it.
Okay. Well, it's like me going to a reunion, high school reunion.
I
It's
guess
like, yeah, I
silver
don't want to
singles.
feel all that
How
old.
did I get to this age where now I've got to
Exactly.
find a silver single?
Dude, I'm
I
going
don't
through an
like.
AARP article with
I
you.
know, right? Okay.
Okay,
Nice.
while the basic membership is free on this one, you can purchase a premium membership at
Ah,
35 a month for 3
wow.
months. That's kind of a
Okay.
lot, but it better
It seems
work,
like it.
man.
Yeah.
A 3 month thing. Oh, 35. Yeah, yeah. So $100 for 3 months. Date my age. That's the next step. Number 3. Bumble's number 4. I can say I heard of that one.
I've heard of Bumble.
Uh
So this is Bumble like specific for like people our age? Is it? That's how I
huh.
sound.
Let's see.
Open
Finally,
moves.
Bumble Premium Plus offers exclusive photo and no, I was looking. They normally summarize it up pretty good in the last
Yeah.
paragraph. This one's
Oh, you can
Bumble's a
also
lot.
find a best friend forever. I almost said breast friend forever.
We might find that too in San
Uh,
Francisco or something. Number 5, coffee meets bagel. That's an odd one. I don't understand it,
it
but
sounds like I've heard of these apps where it's like, oh, it's just coffee, just meat. It's like
uh-huh.
coffee says it handpicks suggested profiles for viewing each day, blah, blah, blah. Like most of the dating apps, it's free. Uh, it sounds like one of those things where it's like off bagels. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I would suggest though, well, this is going back like 20 years ago, virtually, almost 20 years ago. But I was to the point where like, you know what? A lunch meetup or coffee, something like that is a good way to go rather than going for the happy hour at night. Bad way to go with the alcohol involved, unless you're looking for things to get messy.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Okay, number 6 is eHarmony, and I want to say
that's been around forever.
eHarmony and Match are both on here, two of which I've
Wow.
experimented with 20 years ago.
Yeah, I
So I
remember
don't know.
that.
I think that there's a trust factor built into
Oh, the
that.
fact that they're still around after all of this time
It says
says a
something.
lot. Yeah.
Facebook dating is number 7. I did
Wow.
not know that existed.
Me neither.
Another fun feature on it is Secret Crush. When you send a crush to a Facebook friend, they will receive a notification. Anonymous user has a crush on you. I've never gotten one of those. What's wrong with me? Isn't that social media? Isn't that what it does to you
Yeah,
immediately?
yeah, right. It's like no one likes me now.
Right, right. Number 8 is Hinge. I heard of that one. I don't know anything of it, but I heard of it before.
Well, it
Number
says
9 is
it,
Match, as I
this
said.
one on Hinge, it inspires people for in-person connections revolving around their hobbies, interests, and
Oh, that
authenticity.
sounds like, you know what? We talked about Meetup before in the past, and
Yeah.
and I liked that idea about Meetup too, because I did an interview with an author who she used Meetup to start doing rock climbing. I'm like, how perfect. That's how she finally met a new, really, really
Huh.
great guy.
Very interesting. I mean, that does make a lot of sense
Yes,
to
it
revolve
does.
around your hobbies and everything. Huh.
Like
That's a
interests.
kind of a cool thing.
And dude, what
Neat.
I liked about rock climbing, and for me, it would be like cycling probably, but the rock climbing or anything like that is you're physically preoccupied. So your
Yeah.
nervous energy is getting worked out as you're meeting people and, maybe having a fix up date in that regard.
Right.
I think it's really brilliant. And you can't be expected to be made up to the nines. You have to be more of your everyday self.
Right. That
I
makes a
think
lot
that
of
those
sense,
are,
actually. Yeah.
yeah. So number 9 is Match. And like I said, Match and eHarmony are on here. Now I'm going to say back at 18 to 20 years ago when I was on those two, I thought of Match, and those were the two popular ones back. There weren't
Yeah.
that many.
Yeah.
I thought of Match as the nightclub and eHarmony as the
Kind of
romance
more
ad.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember the guy that used to come on for eHarmony. He kind of was like a Barney Fife kind of guy.
I don't remember that.
Well, yeah, it was,
Okay, number 10 is
there's a lot of
OK
these. Yeah.
Cupid. I think I heard of that.
Never heard of that. I've
think.
of course heard of Tinder.
Tinder's 11. Definitely. That's the one what I know of is you swipe left, swipe right. But for all I know, maybe they almost all do that now.
Yeah,
But
who knows?
that's a big name. That's a big name. Dating services based on religion. How about that? J-Date. So it's for Jewish
Of course, I've heard
singles.
of that. Yep.
I think vaguely I did.
I hear it on TV shows. They bring it up. Oh, you're using
Oh.
J-Date. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Christian
Jewish
Mingle.
one.
That
Yeah.
sounds very interesting.
Never heard of that personally. Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised. Okay. Well, that's
Well, I'm not
that's
in
a
the-
test. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you're not in the dating thing, but you're so
Hello,
heavily into
kids.
Christian.
Yeah.
I would think that you would hear it via other people.
No, you do hear a lot of these, but I've not heard
Okay.
Christian Mingle before.
Apps for LGBTQ XYZ daters. Her.
Her.
God
How
only
about
knows what that means.
Okay, I didn't think this one was going to be on here, but I have heard of this one before. Grinder.
Oh, I've heard of that vaguely.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like that's the like
A good name.
we're over 50. Like really, Grinder. That sounds.
Created for gay men in 2009. Grinder.
I've never heard of this one.
Oh, it's the largest network for gay,
I don't
bi,
think it's for
trans,
gay
and
people, is it?
queer.
Is that
It's the
right?
largest
Oh my
network
God.
for gay, bi, trans, and queer adults, and it's called Grinder.
What a terrible name. I just gotta
Whatever, you
say,
do it to yourself, people.
I guess.
And BLK is the BLM of dating apps. It's for black singles.
I mean, oh.
I don't
I don't want
know.
to be negative here.
That's an interesting question I never thought of. Now, let me ask you this, Merle. As far as dating apps go, okay, the first thing I'm sure is going through both of our minds, should we segregate on apps like this?
Huh.
Now it made me think, if you're on eHarmony, Match, or whatever, any of these dating apps, should they have, I'm sure, absolutely, I'm sure in the questionnaire, I'm sure back then they had, what are your racial makeups, and do you have a preference on racial makeup and all that?
I
So
wonder
it's
about that. I
already,
mean,
you're
I guess,
self-segregating
yeah.
to your preference.
It's just you have a profile that you are, interested in, and I guess that's how it would work. But see, that's the whole thing. Dating is now like this science of apps and algorithms when it was just, you sack up your courage and you go and ask a girl out for a
Uh-huh,
date
uh-huh.
and you
And
you
that's
talk to
important.
them.
That's
Yeah, and
important. It's an
I don't
important
know.
part of the development
We've
process. And
I
it's important for women to be able, that's how they judge you, is how much man are you? Can you do this? How do you do it? Are you squirmy? Is your hand cold and clammy? Um,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
sort of
it's
a rite of
important.
passage,
It
isn't it? I
is.
mean, as you're saying, it's like something that you grow, it causes you to grow up and
It does.
to
Yeah.
communicate. Like
Yeah.
one of the hardest things is to communicate over this, right? Like that does take some courage and you and isn't that a part of our development? And
It
isn't that a
is.
part of there's there's this thing where it's like survive, if you believe in evolution, there's a survival of the fittest kind of thing too, where it's like the alpha people are, I don't know, like
It's just
here.
different though. Let's be honest. So today it's different. Let's think from a 20-year-old's perspective, because they're always looking at us. They don't know what this world's about anymore and blah blah blah. Because let me tell you, I'm the 20-year-old, that going on that first date from these apps where people are lying about you, you got to sift through the landmines of lies and manipulation and whatever else, and then you go on these first dates which are treacherous, and people just rip you, make you feel like you're not human. I'm playing devil's advocate on that, the other side.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's the way the world is. We
Huh.
forget how much different it is for 20-year-olds today than it was for us.
Well, that's true. It is very, very different. I don't even understand how they're functioning. And the
Right.
thing is that the whole communication thing, I understand why they're using the apps.
Yeah,
They're,
for sure.
it's almost like they're not
Opens up a lot
encouraged.
of doors. I'll say
Well,
that.
but also they're afraid of their shadow because they're not encouraged to go out and talk to people and face to face.
It's true. That's one
We
side of
went
it.
through COVID where they damaged our society where it was like we couldn't even shake hands
True.
anymore. People
True.
weren't hugging anymore. The human contact factor was taken away and damaged, and now, of course, these things are going to blow up because you don't have to get out there. You can kind of be behind
But you
a
do.
shield.
No, you still got to go out and meet them.
Well, you
That's my
got to
point.
meet them,
And
sure,
I'm
but it's
trying to
the
see both sides of it,
I
because you
I
also open up your doors to a lot more people than if your big method of operation was going to a bar. I mean, God, that's slim pickings of not, and it's not the right percentage for well-adjusted relationships. You really
I
open it
see your
up.
point there. See your point there. The bar thing is a big deal because that is where a lot of people would go to try to meet.
Sure.
And it's like a no-win
The
situation, I
best
think.
people aren't there trying to find, they're
Right.
probably more apt for a church or other kind of social settings that we had talked about. But dude, we got to wrap this up. So
Yeah.
let me cut to the
All
meat of
right.
the matter here. Okay, so the top three and why. Our time. It's best overall for 50 plus.
Our time.
Our
Well, that
time.
was at the top too.
Right. So why? Largest 50 plus pool, simple user interface, daily top picks. I wonder how they figure that. I'm sure that's based on
Daily
money,
top picks, right?
whoever's paying for it. Okay, what to watch out for? Upsells upsells that up. Some under 50s do slip in. You know what? I don't even know. Like different people, I think need to have a little bit more of a window as to where their
Right.
age range is. And then there's I'm going off on a tangent. Then there's the whole thing. Everybody talks about today how women, I should say younger women, not so much over 50, but women today are raised in this environment where they want the guy that has to make more money than them, which is few and far between now, and has to be taller than them, has to be, the bar is so high that there's nobody for them.
They're looking for
And
Superman.
they're like, overweight and, this and that. I hear this all the time. So anyways,
Yeah.
let's go to the
Got to be
next.
tough out there. It's got to be tough.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so number 2 is silver singles. That's the best for curated matches. So it seems to be the best at matching you up based on your questionnaire, I guess, I would say.
Curated, yeah.
So why? Personality quiz, 3 to 7 quality matches per day. Your personality quiz provides equals 3 to 7 quality matches per day, less noise to sift through. What to watch out for? Smaller pool than our time works best if you're active. Okay, that's interesting. Number 3 is interesting. 3 out of 3. Number 3 is eHarmony.
Ah,
Best for serious
still in the top.
relationships
Wow.
of all ages.
Oh,
So
all right.
that's what I thought about it back then. So
Huh.
it's nice that they've stuck to them, what I inferred was their mission statement. So why? Deep compatibility matching, strong long-term track record. That's true. What to watch out for? The paywall. And time to set up is lengthy. I remember going through their questionnaire. Did you ever go on eHarmony? Or
No, I never did any dating services.
okay, it was
I didn't have to.
it was
I'm
a
just kidding.
link. Right. They're beating your door down. Okay, strong alternates. Okay, if those are a little outside your preference, there's 3 strong alternates. Hinge, general audience, relationship first, great prompts, and good filters. Match, number 2, huge pool to choose from, more work to sift through. And number 3, sky / limit, date my age. I don't know what whatever. Age, location, fuzziness, higher scam risk. I just strike that one.
Yeah.
Quick do's and don'ts for people over 50. Use 3 to 5 recent photos. 1 clear face, 1 full length, 1 in your element, in quotes.
All right. That's where the scam happens right there.
That's where people screw up, because if you're using your 20-year-old pick, now how are
Right.
you going to live up to that? You got nowhere to go but
Now,
down.
yeah, as soon
failure.
as you show up, you're a liar. Right.
So yeah, that's I mean, even like with my Airbnb and things like that, I go for hit them with realism so that they can only be pleasantly surprised.
Oh, I like
From
that.
there.
Very nice.
I've always had that with just about everything. Okay, number 2, write a 4 to 6 line bio of what you enjoy and what you're looking for, and keep it specific. Okay, video chat before meeting. This is brilliant. Yes, I was saying do lunch instead of happy hour. This is now, think in the last 5 years, we all do Zoom and everything. Video chat
Right,
before
right.
meeting in public. Tell a friend.
So
your-
convenient.
And yes, you can really just save yourself a lot of time and money right there.
I mean, this is so. I mean, maybe I'm jealous because of how much easier this sounds. Because
I'm with you.
this
Yeah.
was. You had to really have a crazy strategy. But like how are you going to approach these people? You know,
Right.
like.
Right.
Yeah, this
but
seems.
this
I
is
mean,
good
this is a lot.
advice. The
Yeah,
video chat.
I see that. I see that.
Okay.
And then we all have friends that are single at this age, and you want to help out. This is good stuff.
And this is especially, again, this is geared towards people over 50. I think this next one, the video chat, is very, very good advice. People over 50, man, I think you got to be a little more cautious than you think that you do. And
why do you say that?
Because there's a scam going on behind every door and every.
Doesn't it seem like that at every level, though?
Mm-hmm.
Like it
Mm-hmm.
seems like this is the thing you have to be aware of, and in dating in general is the
Mm-hmm.
scam. I mean, it's not just in these apps; is there's scammers out there,
To say the
you know.
least.
And then what we hear at this age, especially for women, is that men are looking for women, widowed women that have the 401k from
Yeah,
their
of
husband, and
course.
they want to latch on to that.
Yes.
There's a lot to be careful about. You're
That's very
correct.
true. This next one's very good advice again. Keep chat in app until after you've met. Do not give your phone number out and start chatting back and forth until you've met them. Qualify them before you go there. So keep
Right
it
on.
in app.
Yeah.
I think that's
Okay.
really good advice.
Yeah, yeah.
Trust your gut. Okay, per AARP, about 40%, 47%, almost 50%. 50 plus daters report encountering likely scams. Just what we just said. So stay sharp. That's
We're
what they
smart.
said.
Right.
Trust your gut. Don't. Oh boy. Listen up, people. Don't send money, gift cards, crypto ever.
Even if it's an African prince.
Move to WhatsApp/Telegram immediately. Classic scam step. Don't move.
Oh,
Don't
wow.
have them move you over to WhatsApp/Telegram. Ignore oh, dude, this is important. I'm not going to just say don't ignore inconsistencies. Stay on the lookout for inconsistencies such as age, city, timeline. These are red flags. Yeah, someone's age varies. I mean, I know a lot of people. I've known a lot of people that lie about their age. Not a lot. I've known a couple people that lie about their age. They're not right.
Yeah.
Don't drink past your comfort on a first meet. I don't think that's worded well. Watch your drinking on the first meet. For sure. Don't get or even intentionally mess with your
Yeah.
judgment. God, we know
Well,
what that's like.
and we know
The
people
2
are when
a.m.
they're on. Yeah, yeah. And people are nervous and they're trying to feel comfortable, have that drink. Oh man, I just saw a big mosquito in here. Here he comes.
Oh
They're
God.
brutal over here.
Yeah. It's a mass murder going on over there. All right, we got to wrap this up. Settings that help: set your age range tightly, 52 to 56, whatever. Distance, 25 to 40 miles, whatever you're comfortable with, but set them tightly. Enable verified photos/video prompts where available. Don't go searching for people without photos. I mean, unless you're just really comfortable with that. We got to move on. Do you have any final words on that? Because you usually summarize new things.
Well, I got to just say this, that I'm personally skeptical, and of not just because it's dating, but it's online, and online is a great place for predators to succeed. And the dating apps, I think, just be careful. I think the use your gut advice was probably the best advice that I heard. If you have any lack of peace when you're dealing with any of these people, maybe that's your red flag to move on to somebody else. I don't know, but it is a place where online, and even when you're just dating, doesn't matter if it's on an app. I've heard a lot of different stories out there of scammers, and you've got to be
Today's
careful out
worse
there.
than ever, man.
It is, and I think there's a quality about our evolving society where people are caring more and more and more about themselves and less and less and less about you. So we've got to, realize the type of society that we live in. And we know, I mean, I remember being in Vegas, going out to dinner one time, and my Uber driver was telling me about how these young guys are using Tinder and they're just like swiping for just keep driving, keep driving. Oh, I got one. Stop right here. And they're like, that's how this is like a shotgun dating that's going on. I know that's more younger people, but older people are doing that kind of stuff too. So you got to be careful.
You remember my friend Irby? He was dating, during that time. He passed away about 5 years ago. That was still.
I can't believe that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, I know, man. And And you know, the year before his son was murdered, it was just,
So tragic.
and he died around COVID, coming off the heels of COVID. It was just a horrible couple years there. But I mean, the greatest guy, he was the greatest guy ever. Always made me want to be a better man. To quote John Nicholson in some weird way. What was my point to that though about the dating apps? He told me he was dating at the time. He's like, you got to use these three. I remember Tinder was one, but you got to use these three, and you got to triangulate between the three. You got to get information of the same person
That's the strategy
from all
there.
three
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's different. And I'm like, that sounds
That's
horrifying.
It does sound horrifying.
And he goes, they're all
The whole
hookups.
thing.
It's all hookups.
See, and that's the whole thing is we live in a hookup environment, and so who's really serious out there? And that's why I think the one app that you had tried so
eHarmony.
long ago, eHarmony. I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
that seems
a
to
good track
attract
record.
people that are much more serious.
Yeah, I agree. Good track record. We're going to kick off current events with a video, Merle. I thought it'd just be
Oh,
nice and get us
cool.
into a frame of mind. I think you'll like this.
All
This is
right.
Joe
Okay.
Pesci. I don't even know what movie this
Oh,
is from.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
saw
don't
this
either.
short and I was like, how cool. Tell me about if sounds okay. Here we go.
Which door do I leave from?
There we go.
Harvard,
Perfect.
we don't end our sentences with prepositions.
Well, in that case, which door do I leave from, asshole?
What democratic eloquence.
You asked the question, sir. Let me answer it. The genius of the Constitution is that it can always be changed. The genius of the Constitution is that it makes no permanent rule other than its faith in the wisdom of ordinary people to govern themselves.
Faith in the wisdom of the people is exactly what makes the Constitution incomplete and crude.
No, sir. Our founding parents were pompous, middle-aged white farmers, but they were also great men because they knew one thing that all great men should know, that they didn't know everything. They knew they were going to make mistakes, but they made sure to leave a way to correct them. They didn't think of themselves as leaders. They wanted a government of citizens, not royalty. A government of listeners, not lecturers. A government that could change, not stand still. The president isn't an elected king, no matter how many bombs he can drop, because the crude Constitution doesn't trust him. He's a servant of the people. He's a bum, okay, Mr. Pitcairn? He's just a bum. And the only bliss that he's searching for is freedom and justice. Which door do
So good in so many ways, inspiring, kind of makes me want to go back and read the Constitution again, all of that. But also at the same time, because he gives a good speech about the humility of our founding fathers, knowing they didn't know everything and left room for amendments and things like that. And I'm thinking at the same time, devil's advocate in the back of my brain is going, yeah, but it was also trashed in our modern day government.
Absolutely.
Betrayed. I mean, there's also enough room for all that betrayal, and here we are today. What did you think about that speech? Remember, somebody spent a movie writer. It's given to us as if it was a spontaneous speech from this guy, which is always fun.
Right,
But
right,
some
right.
writer spent a lot of time on perfecting exactly what he wanted to say. What
I
did you
loved what the professor said, actually, is that the weakness of the Constitution was that they left it open for change. And I think that that is, or no, it wasn't that they left it open. It was because it relied on the wisdom of the people. And that was the weakness right there. And that's the difference between all other governments and the one that we have here today. The one that was established, let's put it that way.
There you go.
At the time of the revolution, it has been stolen from us. And when you take a look at our government today and the things that are happening in our government, like somebody like Zoran Mandani being elected, not a democratic socialist, a communist. That's what he is. I wish people would get a clue on what these people really are. They're communists. They call themselves democratic socialists to fool you into thinking that they're Democrats that are just really wanting to provide social programs that can help you out. the problem that we're seeing here is that unlike what we just saw, we have a government that wants to make every decision for you and control you, and it really does have the attitude of that Harvard professor that we just saw, where they believe that they're much smarter than us, they're much more elite. They need to make the decisions because they're kind of like a parent, and we're kind of like unruly kids that need to be disciplined and corralled into the right direction. And usually that direction leads to massive death. We saw this during COVID when the vaccination came out, and how the pressure tactics that they used were very much reminded me of that Harvard professor that we just saw, where he knew more than we did, and just take it and shut up. You and how they censored people like you and me, where
Mm.
we were just
Oh yeah,
having
we almost
reasonable
lost the
talks
channel.
about this.
Mm.
That's right. And so they knew more than us. And if we decided we wanted to think for ourselves, we were bad people. They actually said this on the news. Don't do your own research. What do you think you are, a doctor? This
Right.
actually, I heard that on
The
CNN.
end of critical thinking.
Yes, and it was demonized, not just ending it, it was demonizing it. And so
Totally.
now we have this real battle in this country where it's a battle between real freedom and this so-called freedom that they're trying to put on top of us. And I
Mm.
think New York is a great example of what's happening out there. And I wanted to talk more about that because
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Keep going.
I saw a great article on what's happened with this.
Well, that's fine. While you're looking for it, I did want to say that, yeah, I know what you're saying, of course, about the Mandani election, and everyone's talking about. First of all, there was never any doubt. He was expected to win in that one trusted poll, I can't remember, by 93%. It was 93% within that, they were calling it. And, but the thing is, here's my point, is watch what happens to New York. Probably not much, but
I don't know.
but wait
Yeah,
a minute. It's a cautionary tale for America, because here's what I started to say at the beginning of the top of the show. I want to say again, no one else has a freaking solution. All we got is he's a communist. They're communists, and we know how that goes. But offered no other solution. This administration was supposed to cut the government severely, stop wars and all that. They're doing exactly the opposite. There's no other. Someone's got to come up with the solution. I'm going to say this briefly, and I want to pick up where you left off. We will come to the conclusion very quickly out of necessity that we have to start talking about a revolution or some other way of completely overturning the oligarchy that we have installed, or we have to start seceding from the union, or we're going to have to start just being prepared and talk about what communism, what a China-like government really looks like, because that's exactly where we're going, and we're going there full speed ahead. I don't know how we put the brakes on it, especially when we won't talk about it, because as I said, just talking about how bad communism is not going to be a deterrent. So we just keep supporting this. Whoever gets elected, dude, they're not running the country. Trump's administration's not really running this country. This is not what they started out doing. Complete
well,
180.
let me just say this, that Trump's administration running the country is probably a misnomer, according to the Constitution, is that our state and local governments actually take preeminence over the federal government. That is
That's
actually
great.
what the Constitution
I like
says.
the sound of that.
And
Yeah.
so we don't, just like that guy just said, what is it, Pesci?
Yeah.
We don't have a dictator here. He is not a king. He is the president, and he runs the federal government. But states have preeminent rights over the federal government. And so it's just like we have 50 different countries that are united in, but look, even when you think about citizenship, when you say, oh, I'm a citizen of the United States, that's impossible. You're not a citizen of all 50 states. You live in Ohio. You're a citizen of
Good
Ohio. Look
point.
at your driver license. It doesn't say you're from America. It says you're from Ohio. And I live in Arizona. Arizona, that's what it says on my license. I'm a citizen of Arizona. And so, but Arizona belongs to the United States. We're united, but we have different laws in our states. We run our states differently because of the fact that we have different demographics regionally, and we need governments that represent us, that actually are in our general area. And that's where the whole taxation without representation came from, is that if you don't live in the area that you're governing over, how can you care about it?
Yeah.
How can you actually govern it fairly without taking advantage of it? And so I think one of the big problems in the United States is we've all been conditioned to think that the federal government is our boss. And that's
Yes.
absolutely wrong. And
Yes.
so what's happening with New York right now is an experiment in our national history on what could happen if communism, true communism, came in. And by the way, he's not the first communist mayor in the United States. We got several of them that are out here right now. We've got Brandon Johnson in Chicago. We've got Karen Bass in Los Angeles. These people are communists. They have communist histories. They visit communist places all the time. That's what they are. And so we have something coming. I don't think people really understand what communism is, Barry. And I think it is still important for us to talk about it. Let me just read this article I got from Randall Thompson. I don't know who he is, but he put this very succinctly, and I saw this on X, and I just want to read a little bit of it. What he's saying: for anyone who's remotely supportive of, intrigued by, or interested in the New York City mayor-elect Mandani, I hope I'm wrong, but 20 years of economic study tells me different. Here's what I think will happen: free buses and government grocery stores won't happen. They never do. They sound good during campaigns, but collapse under basic math. You can't run a city on ideas that cost billions to produce no revenue, and you can't impose taxes. Only the state legislature can do that. That's what he keeps saying. He's going to tax the 1% in
Yeah,
New
I
York
know.
City. He
Everyone
doesn't
knows
have the,
this.
no
Right.
mayor has the ability to do that. That's the state government that does that. How did he trick everybody into that? The only way of making housing affordable is to build more housing. The free market lowers prices, not regulation. So bring the free market. That's the answer, Barry, is we need the free market. The free market lowers prices, not regulation. Every time politicians try to control rent or force affordability by decree, developers stop building and landlords stop maintaining. Supply dries up, the quality collapses, and the few properties that remain skyrocket in price. Once landlords can't make a profit, they sell, lose properties, or they walk away. Eventually, the government takes over. This goes on and on. But what's basically happening here is that the math involved in what Mandani is appropriating there in New York City, we already know there's a history that it doesn't work. We're seeing it in Chicago already. We're seeing it in Los Angeles. We're seeing it in Seattle. We have to bring the free market back. We have to stop regulating the housing market. We need to build. We got to stop regulating that. Thomas Sowell said something about this, comparing the Bronx to Berlin. And he talked about how Berlin in the 1940s was completely devastated by bombing. And the Bronx were not, of course. The Bronx have severe housing regulations. And his point is this: when you go to the Bronx, and then you go visit Berlin and you ask yourself, which city was bombed to oblivion just in recent history, you would think it was the Bronx.
All right. I like the way that you're approaching this, and frankly, it occurred to me as you were speaking, like, dude, why don't you run for office? Because instead of simply just preaching the perils of communism, you offered, here's how we have to look at things, which is what Cuomo did not do. And that's why Mandani won. And this is my point, that this is the cautionary tale we need to take to the national stage. We need to have solution makers propose solutions rather than just tell us communist is evil. Because if they're the only ones telling us that they can feed us, that's the way people are going to vote.
No, I totally agree with everything that you're saying, and except for the part about me running for government office. I think that it is important right now that people are educated on what's going on, and there has to be a plan, and not just, oh, this is bad, because that's what's happening today. Oh, this is bad.
Yep.
Trump bad. There's no
Yep.
solutions. So
I'm voting for
Biden
Kamala
bad.
because it's not Trump. What a
That's
stupid
exactly
reason
right.
to vote.
We're not going to get anywhere. But here's my
Right.
thing, and I talked about this last week, Barry, is that the government isn't going to solve the problem. Getting involved in government, to me, there's going to be a high temptation to take advantage of the system the way Nancy Pelosi did for the last 40
She
years.
just finally stepped down like today or something.
Finally,
officially.
and she made $400 million in profit by screwing the people. That's what she did. She was making $172,000 a year right now that she's ramped up to that. So how could she get 400 million?
Yeah, we
She
all know.
screwed us. That's
Yeah.
what she did. It was insider trading. That's how it happened. And so I believe this, that it's going to take the citizens, we the people, not just, hey, let's all vote a certain way. We've got to band together. We've got to be
Got to
a part
demand
of
more.
this.
Demand.
We've got to form more organizations of communications where we band together as we the people. This is how the Revolutionary War was won, is that people came into agreement and had a plan on how they
Yeah,
were going
there you
to
go.
actually get this accomplished. And
Yeah.
we need to do that as a grassroots movement. And I am a part of that. And that is what I'm not just going out there learning about communism and why it's bad. We're coming up with solutions on how to fix
Love
this.
that.
And part of this is we've got to take our economy back. We've got to get the word out about these foreign influences as well, and get them out of our society, out of our colleges. It's crazy,
Yeah,
the
it
foreign
is.
influences that are happening in our colleges, in our media, in our government. Foreign money coming into our campaigns. We've got to limit the amount of foreign influence that's happening on our mainstream media, like TikTok
Yeah.
and these algorithms that are hell bent on causing our young people to commit suicide. That's what
Yes.
we got to take all of this back.
Yes.
And that means we've got to talk about it, we've got to educate people, and we got to lay out a plan, and we've got to be open to debate over this thing, and we've got to lock arms and move forward. That's what has to happen. And we've got to call out things like what's happening in New York City and say, this is what it is. And right now, we can talk about here's what's going to happen, so that when it does happen, people can see, oh, that's exactly what they were talking about. Because what's going to happen when that thing collapses, if we're not talking about it, is they're going to blame it on something else. Oh, it was
Agreed.
this or it was that. They just didn't do communism right. That's the thing we hear today. When we
Agreed.
do it right, it's going to be great. How is it that you can never do it right?
Yeah, it's never
And
been done right yet.
and typically, what ends up happening is a lot of death. And so, this is what we want to avoid. Already, since he got elected, I'm hearing of that Florida real estate is lighting up. There's a mass
sure.
exodus out of New York City
Oh
going
yeah,
on right now.
I'm sure. I'm sure. All right, because we just are winding down in time. Did you want to revisit the initial stages of the Great Depression? What did that look like? What did the recovery look like, and how could we do it better? Or do you want to talk about the government shutdown / SNAP benefits, or the Arctic frost scandal? Up to you.
Boy, I'll tell you what, all of those are kind of long form here. I would just say that let's just talk about this government shutdown here,
Okay.
because right now it's impacting our air travel. And that is very serious. We're on day 38 of this shutdown. There's all kinds of legal things that are going on behind the scenes. But I did want to talk about these airports that across the country right now, we're experiencing significant delays and disruptions due to this prolonged air traffic or this prolonged shutdown, and it's impacting air traffic control staffing and TSA. These people aren't getting paid, Barry. And
Why are they
these are
going
the
to work then?
well, I think they might feel like it's their patriotic duty to protect our major infrastructure here, which is air travel. Remember what happened on 9/11? Well, of course, we can debate what actually happened on
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
9/11,
It's
but
being debated more and more every day.
if nefarious people now realize that, hey, that it might be easy for us to get on some of these planes and do some damage, that's a vulnerable position that we're in. And gosh, did you see the UPS plane crash the
Yeah,
other day
yeah.
in Kentucky?
Mhm.
And what first off, why is there a why is there an oil refinery at the end of the runway? That's kind of crazy. Who came up with that idea? But I mean, the
It's like
fact of the matter
playing
is,
darts and there's a bomb in the
yeah,
bullseye.
why would you do that? But
Yeah.
the fact is I've never even heard of a UPS plane crashing before. I
No,
guess
me
it's
either. That's the
happened.
first thing I thought.
Yeah, and so what? It's something fishy going on here. But let's see
Maybe.
the ongoing government shutdown has led to air traffic controllers working without pay, resulting in staffing shortages. The situation has caused the FAA to slow down air traffic to maintain safety, leading to increased flight delays across the major airports. Look, we're heading into Thanksgiving, the busiest travel season of the year, and this is happening, which is just absolutely crazy. They say they're going to, by the 7th of this, that's today, they're going to curtail air traffic by 4% in 40 airports. And by the 10th, it's going to be ratcheted up to 10% if the shutdown doesn't happen by then. Literally canceling thousands and thousands of flights out there. And already our airports are totally backed up all over the country. They're saying that the thing to do right now is to stay informed. Travelers are advised to monitor their flight status through airline apps or websites before heading to the airport. What a pain in the butt!
It
All
is.
because this fight over $1.5 trillion to provide the Obamacare extensions that people are saying the Republicans are saying, hey, that is being used to pay for illegal aliens that came across the border, and the Democrats are saying that's absolutely false. I have something that I wanted to play on that. This is the Secretary of Agriculture talking about the SNAP benefits.
Day one of USDA, February 13th, is we sent letters to every governor in America being very clear that no illegal aliens can use SNAP. 0, 0, 0. We asked every state for the first time in history, and this was in February, to send us their data and let us, with Doge and a war room, actually start going through this data to better understand how this explosion of SNAP benefits happened under Joe Biden. We increased almost 40% on this program in just a couple of years under the Biden administration.
40%.
Of course, we know they were trying to buy the election, but that's a conversation for another time. And since we have asked for that data, 29 states have complied. Of course, almost all the red states, a couple of couple blue states too. But in that data, and I haven't talked about this yet publicly, in that data we've studied about $100 billion in spend. We have found thousands and thousands of illegal use of the EBT card. We have been moving people off of SNAP. We've got almost 700,000 people, I think, we've moved off just since the president took office. We've arrested about 118 people. So this has been ongoing.
We'll get that on mainstream media.
What this conversation has allowed is a national spotlight on a broken and corrupt program. We found one guy in 6 different states getting a benefit. We found about 5,000 people that are dead who are still getting benefits. Like, week, it is time to drastically reform this program so that we can make sure that those who are truly needy, truly vulnerable, are getting what they need, and the rest of the corruption goes away, and we can serve the American taxpayer. Day one.
I think that's the big thing is that this has drawn attention to
a very corrupt system, and they don't want to. The left doesn't want to talk about how corrupt it is. That's the thing.
Yeah, that really is, and I'm trying to figure out how to stop sharing. I'm having a hard time here.
Well, that's all right. I want to say, because I see the headline about Erica Kirk, and I'm sorry, you can come back to this snap thing, but I want to say about Erica, I'm so distraught with the press that I'm seeing against Erica Kirk, who just lost her husband horrifically. And I'll mention, I saw Kyle Kalinske posted something on social about it was horrible, like a fake photo, something else, but just regarding that she's getting free press off the death of her husband. It was something like that. Kyle Kalinske is fairly highly regarded in the left-wing media. He's a husband of Crystal Ball. But I will say that the brainwashing of the left, that when you talk on the far left, there's just a lot of hate and it's gotten normalized. Hate has gotten normalized there to the point where one of their esteemed journalists, if you want to call him that, Kyle Kalinske, thinks it's okay to completely insult Erica Kirk, who's grieving her husband and trying to carry on his legacy. Your thoughts? I mean, I'm sickened by it.
I understand what you're saying. She's a grieving widow. There are some very odd things that are going on right now. You just have to admit it.
I don't know. What?
Well, when you take a look at her past and her history, it's just there's her ties to Israel is one thing. Her mother and father are both tied to very heavily. Her father to potentially to Mossad. She was also a Trump beauty pageant winner before she met. She's just got some weird ties. I don't know if that means anything, but then you look at how Charlie was murdered, and the story that's being told can't be. It doesn't add up to me at all.
Are you saying people are implicating her in her husband's murder?
I am saying that there are things that look very, very fishy about the entire thing, about the entire story that we've been told. It looks like it's a lie. I don't know how she's involved. People are feeling very odd about how she has behaved since it's happened. I don't know the answers to it, but I can tell you that I have a very bad feeling about what's happening with Turning Point USA.
Okay, I'll keep an ear out for that. I tend to not read things like that because I think that that's when things just get a little too off the rails. But I'll keep
my whole thing is this: is that I don't know a lot about her, but I can tell you that what I've seen regarding the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the story we're being told about this kid that shot Charlie from 100 yards away or further than that. Everybody says, oh, that's an easy shot. But then as soon as he gets shot, people all around him act in a very mysterious way. They're jumping over the table. They're removing something from him. They're removing SIM cards from cameras. They're removing cameras. It's just, it doesn't seem right. And it also seems like the person that they've captured, that guy's guilty. That there's no the way that they're talking about it, even Erica talking about it, it seems like it's a foregone conclusion that guy is guilty, which to me, and publicly talking about it that way, taints the jury, which I don't know how you're going to get a fair trial out of this whole thing. Many of the aspects of the Charlie Kirk assassination remind me of the JFK assassination. It seems like, including the JFK assassination, they said that Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone shooter within hours of the actual assassination, and they never changed course after that, even when they had evidence that showed that it could be something else. It looks like that's happening here. It's hard to tell. A lot of weird things happened leading up to his assassination as well. So the jury's way out there for me. I don't know what happened. I don't think it's as simple as what they say. And I feel like this doesn't smell good to me.
Well, I agree that the assassination does sound it's very reminiscent of the JFK stuff, but again, I don't go deep down there.
One last thing I'll say about her.
I would be very careful about implicating a
I would too.
widow.
But here's the thing:
left with 2 kids.
Sure, but I also think that as a grieving widow, she's definitely putting herself into the limelight and putting herself in a position to be criticized the way that she's being criticized. And I think that if I were the grieving widow, I'd be laying low. I would not be putting myself out there just because I'm so crushed.
I see that, and again, I don't follow it enough. But my first inclination would be to think that she's fighting for her husband, so that his death was not in vain. I mean,
that was my first thing too. But then when I saw all the other crazy stuff around it, it led to questions. I'm not saying that she's a bad person or anything like that. I'm saying there's stuff to question. And I think it's okay to question it. And especially if you're putting yourself out there, that goes along with our critical thinking skills. It's okay to question it. And I think that here's the other thing, Barry, is that people have mentioned the connections to Israel, and you're seeing this group of people around Turning Point USA that as soon as any questions like that happen, and they're legitimate, oh, you're an anti-Semite. That's coming from them. And
I know.
To me, it's like, if that's your knee-jerk reaction to any questioning, that I'm suspicious now.
Right. Now, I've been listening to, of course, independent news, and I think Dave Smith has talked about who knew Charlie. And frankly, everybody in the circles that I listened to knew Charlie, some more so than others. Right. And they were kind of unanimously saying Charlie was just coming around to the point where he's questioning his dead set alliance with Israel, the way it had been.
That's correct.
There's a lot of suspicion as to what could have. And then Netanyahu immediately gets on the airwaves talking about what a great relationship he had with Charlie Kirk, and he did this over and over again. And people are like, "Yuck, dude, get off the air." But anyways, we're going to start having to wrap up here.
That's an interesting subject, though,
and we can revisit.
Here. Yeah, I mean, this is a big one.
I wanted to ask you, though, could you tell us again, plug the book that you have been working on with Casey Fleming? Is it through Black Ops Partners?
No, it's not through Black Ops. No, it's separate. The book is called The Red Tsunami, The Silent Storm Killing Your Freedom. And it is really set up on it chapter by chapter on really an education on what's coming our way, what's been coming our way through hybrid warfare. We're talking about drug warfare, lawfare, religious warfare, all of these different attack angles that are coming at us, mostly from China. That's why it's called the Red Tsunami, and we're educating on what's happening, but we're not going to just leave you hanging on that. We're ending on what you as a citizen can do to protect yourself and your family and your community. And it's also part of a movement that we call Freedom Forever and also Alpha. These are grassroots movements that we're putting together right now. Freedom Forever is really more for citizens and we're organizing talks and a website now where you can come. And one of the things that we're organizing is Buy American. Stop investing in your demise by buying from the CCP. And that's an actual true statement that they use their revenue to come after their number one enemy, which is America. That's what they say all the time. So, but people need a place to be educated on how to make that happen. Our alpha group is more of a business leader group where people are figuring out how we can actually take our economy back and wrestle it out of the arms of the globalists that are trying to take us over, and really come up with common sense agendas that our government can follow. We have a war center that actually is being planned to go with this, that would be used, experts would be advising our own government on strategic initiatives that can protect business, that can protect us, because what we're seeing is that our federal government and our state and local governments are very myopic on conventional warfare, and they don't know about this gray zone, which we're in right now. It's called the gray zone, where warfare is being leveraged at us. But because of our ignorance of this, people don't understand that we're actually in a war right now and we're being defeated. This education is using the book and the movements is really what we're looking to be able to build, this groundswell of we the people to take back our God-given liberties and protect those for our posterity. That's what this is all about. And this is in the center of my heart as a patriot that loves our country. I love my neighbor and I love my family most of all. And this is worth protecting. And it's not going to happen by voting in the right people. It's going to happen by us keeping our government that works for us accountable to our goals and our desires. And the number one is, like I said, keeping these God-given liberties alive. And it's just like Ronald Reagan said, is that freedom is not inherited. It has to be fought for in every generation.
That's absolutely right. Now, when is the book coming out and where can people find it?
Well, it's going to be on Amazon, and you can pre-order it right now. We'd prefer that you wait to the book launching, which right now is set at January 20th.
Okay. January 20th, coming up very quickly.
Very quickly.
Red Tsunami. And is it by Casey Fleming?
It was by T. Casey Fleming. Correct.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. And with that, we have Mark's AI tip coming up. Always a great time with that. I learned so much. So does Lisa. She wants to have a one-on-one session with Mark so that she could take things to the next level with AI. And let's see what else. Go to over50startingover.com. Leave us a comment. Sign up. Go to our YouTube channel. Sign up there, Over 50 Starting Over, and leave us comments. Thanks a lot. You guys have a good weekend.
Take care.
Well, hello there, Over 50 Starting Over friends. Mark Tennant back with you with your AI tip of the week. This week, AI for career resilience. How to identify in-demand skills in any industry. Well, a lot of us over 50s, actually many of us, are facing longer work lives, retirement age is increasing, changing economic pressures. So career resilience, staying relevant, adaptable, and employable is not just a luxury anymore. It certainly is it's a necessity. With 2026 right around the corner, what can you do right now to gain that competitive advantage? And I think you know what I'm going to say. You need to embrace AI. It's here. It's not going away, and it can be your career changer. It really can. So we've put together 3 short tips on how to take advantage of that. And number 1, use AI-powered search tools. With powered search tools like Perplexity.ai or ChatGPT's search ability, it's awesome to identify these skills. Perplexity is my go-to, but ChatGPT, great search capability. Both platforms have free versions with the search built right into them. And of course, that's what Perplexity does. So number 2, write the following prompt. And you can stop this, take a screenshot of this prompt, and put it into ChatGPT or Perplexity. It will read that, it will translate it for you, add your industry, and there you go with that prompt. So act as an expert HR professional and list the top 5 to 10 skills employers are seeking in whatever your job is or your industry in 2025 and 2026. And not bad. In this case, we used an accountant specialist. So here are the top skills in 2025: technical accounting and financial reporting, data analytics, technology and automation savvy. And with that one, it mentions some tools: QuickBooks, SAP, Oracle, NetSuite. All of those platforms have AI capabilities built into them. So you're going to see it everywhere. Soft skills, communication, collaboration, and adaptability. Those soft skills you have, your work experience, your life experience, those are top skills in any industry, if you ask me, and in accounting as they list them here. They give you a nice list of what to emphasize in 2026, looking ahead, building on 2025 skills, advanced tech integration, deeper analytics, cybersecurity and data governance, advisory mindset, continuous learning, and change resilience. Again, there it is, and AI is at the top of that. Number 3, write the following prompt. And again, take a screenshot of this, had ChatGPT or Perplexity translate it for you, and then have them run that particular prompt for you. And this one is: act as an expert HR professional and summarize changes in skill demand for whatever your job is in 2025 and 2026. So here it is. In this case, I had a business development specialist. And in 2025, which changed already, AI moved from a nice to have to workflows. There it is. Relationship-only selling is losing ground to tech-savvy, product-smart business developers. Skills are rotating faster, and then data fluency is no longer a necessity. It is a requirement. It gives you a short skill map, which is a practical snapshot of a business development specialist in 2025 and why it matters. And then it looks ahead to 2026, where it's headed next. From AI co-pilots to early AI agents inside the revenue stack. And we're going to have an episode on agents one of these days, because we're nowhere near where people think we are with AI agents. Humans still matter, and they will continue to matter for quite some time. And then the bar for data hygiene and governance keeps rising, and durable human skills won't fade. They will differentiate. Of course, they have a short list of skills to prioritize in 2025, moving into 2026. AI for work, tech depth, account strategy, durability skills, and of course, soft skills. And finally, a custom GPT developed by this guy, my friend Paul Raitzer. Paul is the CEO of a company called SmarterX and the AI Marketing Institute here in Cleveland, Ohio. And he put this GPT together. It's a custom GPT, so just go ahead and open up ChatGPT. In the upper left corner, you will see this menu, Explore GPTs. It will take you to a search page. Just type in jobs, and Paul's Jobs GPT will be right at the top of the list. So when you open it up, this is what it is. So what Paul's GPT does, he created the ability for this GPT to analyze any job title. And what it does, it takes that job title, it lists the top tasks that a person who has that job title performs. It gives an exposure level to AI. In other words, can this task be done by AI or can it not? And then it gives a percentage of the work that AI can do for that particular task, and then the rationale for using AI. So when you go in, you can just add a job title. In this case, I added Human Resources Specialist. And as you say, the main tasks of the GPT are right there. And when you run this prompt and it goes through and gives you the tasks and the rationale and those types of things, the window to look at is very, very small. So what we've done, we've just went ahead and exported it to a spreadsheet, and you can do that within this GPT. And there it is, Jobs GPT output for Human Resource Specialist. It gives you the tasks, it gives you the exposure level, and you'll see the key right below, and then the rationale for that. In this case, once again, for a Human Resources Specialist. So great tool, Jobs GPT from ChatGPT. So to wrap it all up, regularly ask AI about trends within your job. Ask AI for a career checkup often, and you can do this at any time. And these AI tools, they instantly summarize posted jobs and reveal trending skills. You could actually feed it job descriptions as well. And use AI to create daily learning challenges. I do it all the time. So with your turn, these AI-powered tools, they make it easy to identify trending skills within your industry. The insights can help you tailor your resume, and don't forget how good of a writer these AI models are. upskill strategically and stay competitive in today's market. And continual learning supported by AI in the latter part of your career will help you stand out. And I want to know what you think about it. Email me, mark@marktennant.net. And on the socials, I'm on LinkedIn at Mark E. Tennant. Till next time, keep using AI. See what your job is all about. Use that Jobs GPT, and I hope it helps you out. Till then,